Alright guys, Maria here with Maria's Mobile Mechanics and welcome to the channel. Today I'm working on a 2020 Chevy Silverado with the 4.3 unit and I'll show you how to replace the AC compressor. Alright guys, so that's our truck right there. So I've removed the skid plates, two of them, six 30mm bolts, and the first thing you're going to do is make sure the system has been evacuated, and I'll crawl under the vehicle. I'll show you what connector you need to actually disconnect first. Alright guys, so right now I'm under underneath of the truck and we are looking at the bottom of the AC compressor. You can see I've disconnected that wiring. So that's the first thing you're going to do is disconnect that connector, and then let's go up top. I'll show you the other connector that you need to actually disconnect. Alright guys, so right now I'm up top under the hood and we are looking at the compressor from the top side. You can see that connector also is unplugged, so that's the second connector that you need to actually take off. So let me show you the other nut that you need to take out that houses the AC compressor high pressure and low pressure hose. Let me set myself up properly and then we go from there. Alright guys, so I'm still under the hood and you can see that's a 30mm nut that actually houses the high pressure and low pressure hose for the AC compressor to the compressor. Let me see if I can focus a little bit more. That's the one right there. You can see I've loosened it just to speed up the process. So all we are going to do is take that nut out and then pull the lines off the compressor. So actually you do not have to actually take off the fuse box, take off the battery, disconnect them coolant lines and drain the coolant to actually access the compressor. This way you're going to take the compressor out. Just pretty much easy, just quite involving, but definitely this is the easiest way. So right now let me take those that nut out completely and then we pull the AC lines off, and then we'll move to the bottom and then take out the one nut and then one AC compressor bolt. Alright guys, so I got the nut out, and to loosen the nut I use this 13mm socket with the tiny ratchet. That's how I managed to actually take that nut loose first and then take it off by hand. And then for the connector I used a tiny screwdriver to pry out the rail locking tab, and then I used this hose clamp, the radiator hose pliers to actually pinch on the connector and then slide it out. So right now you can see, let me see if I can focus right there. You can see our AC lines are off. You can see right there. All I need is just to maneuver them around to create more room for the compressor to come out from the bottom. Alright guys, so right now I'm at the bottom of the truck. You can see our compressor is located on the right side, held by one 13 or 15mm nut. I can't remember very well. With the bolt is the same size, I believe they are 13. And I just want to talk about the belts. You can see these newer trucks guys, they don't have a belt tensioner, so you can see we got the main belt running through the harmonic balancer on the water pump, and then it goes onto the alternator on top right there, and then another pulley, just another pulley right there, no tensioner. So these are stretch belts. And then when you look at the compressor, it runs through on the compressor and the harmonic balancer. So the last one I did cut it, so this one we'll see. I want to see if I can actually just take out the bolts and then maybe to be loose, and then we can maneuver the new compressor in. So let's see what we get. Let me show you the bolts holding the compressor and then we go from there. Alright guys, so you're looking at the compressor. Let me see if I can focus. We have that 13mm nut, and then when you look on top right there, we got another 13mm bolt. So like I said, this is a stretch belt, And the last time I did one, I cut, but this one I want to see if I can take the bolt out and then the nut out and see if it will be loose enough for the AC compressor to maneuver out. So let me do that and then I'll bring you guys back. Alright guys, so I managed to get the top bolt. This is how long it is, and then this is the 13mm nut that actually comes out of the stud. So right now that's how we are looking. So that's the stud, the one that actually holds the nut. The bolt is up top right there. You can see it has actually moved away from the slot. I was hoping to slide the belt out, but seems like that's impossible, so we are going to cut it like the last one, and then we'll just put a new one right there. So we just cut it, and the compressor actually just fell to one side. That's on the frame, so let me slide it out, and then you see it will be stuck somewhere around here like before. So let me do that and then we go from there. Alright guys, so you can see we are stuck right here on the lines for the actually transmission cooler lines. So I'm gonna push the compressor just back a little bit, not to put stress on the lines. Let's see, we'll push it back a little bit just to take stress on the cooler lines. There we go. And right now let me go up top, show you what else we need to take out to actually have the compressor to actually pass through that same spot. Alright guys, so when you come up top, you have to actually take off these plastic clips. There's 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you have to take those plastic clips so that you create room to take off these 30mm bracket bolts that actually holds the radiator condenser. There's a 30mm bolt right here. You have another one right here. That's the reason why you're taking off this plastic clip. The same with the other side. The bolt is hidden in there. Another one exposed right there. So let me take those clips out, take off the bolts, and then we should be good. Now that we took all the plastic clips out, we are able to actually take the 2 bolts holding these brackets. Alright guys, so now we got the brackets out on both sides. Now we'll be able to raise the radiator, condenser, electric fan at the same time to create room for that compressor to slide through that spot that it got stuck at. So now we'll try to bring the compressor right here, and then we'll push onto the radiator, condenser, and the electric fan, so we create passage for the compressor. Alright guys, so you gotta play around with it to create room for it to pass through that spot. Sometimes it comes out pretty easy, but sometimes you gotta find a way. So last time it came out pretty easy. Today I had to move it around here and there, but we got it out. So right now we gotta look for the AC compressor and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, so I got the new compressor with me. So it comes with this plastic bolt right here protecting any debris from going inside there. So we have a 13mm bolt in the middle. I took that one out. The kit of the compressor comes with the stud. So this stud, I just installed it right there to use this reverse, I can't even see, EP8 inverted torque. That's the one I used to tighten it, and then we'll put the bolt back on just to protect the debris from falling in there. And then it comes with two O-rings, one for the high pressure hose, one for the low. So we store those when it's on the vehicle. So right now this compressor goes back in pretty much the reversal of how it came out. So I'm gonna put it off camera and I'll bring you guys back once everything is plugged in and bolted to specs. So let me do that and then I'll bring you guys back. Alright guys, so we put the compressor back on, everything connected. So let me just walk you through to show you that everything is actually back on. We got the brackets on each side and all the plastic clips are back on. And then remember, you have to change those gaskets for the AC lines, high pressure line side, low pressure side, and put the caps back on. So let me try to focus if I can show you that everything is back on. Alright guys, so you can see we are on top of the AC compressor. You can see our AC lines are connected, bolted with that 30mm nut. Let me see if I can focus more. And then you can see our connector is also plugged in. Everything looks good up here. So let's crawl under the vehicle. I show you the other connections, the bolt, the nut, and the electrical connect. Alright guys, so right now we are at the bottom. You can see our connector is plugged in. That's good to go. And let's go see the front side of the compressor. We see the bolt and nut also bolted. You can see we got the top bolt on, and then we also got the nut on the stud on. So I have not put the compressor belt on. I'm gonna drive it to a friend of mine who has a shop, and he's gonna do that for me, and then recharge the system because I don't have the machine for this new Freon on these vehicles. So pretty much the whole idea is to show you how the compressor comes in and out without disconnecting a lot of components. So that is not taking off the battery, the fuse box, draining the coolant, and all that kind of stuff. So pretty much our compressor is in, and that's just all I wanted to show you. Alright guys, so pretty much that's what it takes to replace the compressor on a 2020 Chevy Silverado with the 4.3 engine. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, follow for more. Stay blessed, be good, and we'll see you on the next one.